the voting for the urban local bodies that were fought on party symbol came to an end at 4 p.m. this evening. This is Rajmeet Singh and I am joined by my colleague Ruchika M. Khanna with yet another episode of Decode Punjab. We will be analysing the trends that have started coming in. Ruchika ji, my first question to you is, what are the trends? What are the trends indicating?
The trends have already started coming in. From what we hear from our field reporters across Punjab, in Patiala it seems like Aam Aadmi Party is leading in most of the wards. In Phagwara it is the Congress which is likely to win the polls. In Jalandhar again it is Aam Aadmi Party. And in Amritsar it appears to be a very keen contest between the Congress and Aam Aadmi Party. In Ludhiana, again, it is the Aam Aadmi Party which seems to be leading at the moment.
Ruchika ji, another question which is coming to my mind is, why this urban polls were crucial for AAP to win these elections? But there are allegations of their putting in, official machinery to manipulate the results. What is your view on that?
So, Rajmeet, from whatever we gather from our reporters in the field, the most important thing is that before this election, 4 of the 5 municipal corporations that went to the polls, Amritsar, Jalandhar, Ludhiana and Patiala, these were all, Congress was basically at the helm of affairs in these 4 municipal corporations. In Phagwara, there have been no elections after 2020 and the elections were long overdue. So for any ruling party, it is very imperative that they win the urban civic polls, because they also gauge what is the popularity amongst the voters. Also, this is the first poll after the Lok Sabha elections, which is being held on party symbols. So the party's position will be very, very clear after these polls. Why do you think the Congress has been making all these allegations against AAP? I think there have been just minor scuffles, but the Congress has been crying hoarse. What is your information from the Congress?
Basically, the main incidents that have been reported are from Patiala. The Youth Congress President, Punjab Youth Congress, Mohit Mindra has been, has gone on camera saying that they were brandishing swords and guns and they're threatening the voters. So then there were another incident, Dhaka in Ludhiana, and some incidents in Jalandhar, sporadic incident. No major violence has happened. But since Congress, the 4 of the urban civic bodies, minus Pagoda, were with the Congress. So, they also are they are to face the next assembly polls. So, the trends will reflect on the urban voters. The urban voters have been a stronghold of Congress so far. Right. So, that factor is a matter of concern for Congress.
So, Rajmeet, in this urban civic polls, the BJP has also put its hat in the ring independently, and the BJP has been claiming that since they're very popular with the urban Hindus, they were expecting to do very well, but from the trends that have come in so far, other than Jalandhar and just a few wards in Amritsar, and they've not done very well. In Patiala, they were the major opponents to the Aam Aadmi Party, but that's majorly because of the Captain Amrinder family. So I just want to understand, what is your knowledge, what is your information from the BJP camp?
See, first of all, the municipal elections are local elections. They are fought on local issues. And AAP has come out with a local agenda, regarding, though it is yet to be seen how they implement it, that they would spruce up the basic infrastructure, solid waste management. So, people are very smart. The voter, they know, electing a councillor of the ruling party would bring development to that area. I think that is one of the main reasons for which, the AAP, the trend in favor of AAP can be witnessed.
Okay. So, generally, the urban civic bodies across Punjab, they are bereft of funds. Yes. There was a report by the RBI recently on the status of the finances of municipal corporations across India, wherein the RBI report very specifically mentioned that there's been a decline of funding to the urban civic bodies in Punjab. On one hand, there is this decline in funding. So on the other hand, how do you think that the urban issues will be resolved? when there are no funds available, even if people go and elect the candidates of the ruling party, if there are no funds available with the state, how do you think they're going to usher in development?
As you cover finance, you know that there is a word called matching grant from the government of India. There has been a repeated reminder to Punjab that your civic bodies are not self-generating. On the property tax, it is less than 40%. But they don't have details about the recovery of sewer tax. Property tax is so poor. So government has to pool in resources to run the civic community. That is one of the main reasons. But there are certain rich corporations like Ludhiana. Despite the funds, the state of affairs are so bad. So, Ruchiraji, I have a question. Do you think by putting in Aman Arora as the Aam Aadmi Party Punjab chief has helped them in the urban civic body polls? Because that in trend can indicate something.
Rajmeet, I would like to answer it, in a different manner. So, the power equation in Aam Aadmi Party has been very, very dynamic. The way the things have been in the recent few months. The party wanted to bring in a face, a more urbane, a younger face in the party who the voters would recognize with. Since in Aam Aadmi Party, in several quarters of the Aam Aadmi Party, there was this perception that the BJP is going to woo the urban Hindus. So I think that is the strategy they used. They brought in Aman Arora, who is very amenable not just to the Hindu voters, but also to the traders and the industrialists, because he himself comes from a business background. So I think that was one of the reasons that they brought him in. And, considering the fact that in Patiala, Aam Aadmi Party seems to be heading for a majority, in Jalandhar, they are almost in majority. In Ludhiana, again Aam Aadmi Party is in majority. And in Amritsar, so far there's a very, very keen contest between both Congress and Aam Aadmi Party. So I think it's paid off.
Another question is, we have yet to discuss the Akali Dal. This as they had put in their candidates after staying away from the by-elections. Yeah. How do you see their performance and what it means for them and the urban polling?
So actually, the urban civic body polls would not be the right way to gauge, their popularity or their waning popularity, because Akali Dal has never really identified itself with the urban voters. Though Mr. Sukhbir Singh Badal, the former president of Akali Dal, though he did try to woo the urban voters, and he did try to, in fact, change the whole party dynamics by bringing in Hindu leaders, and in fact he would boast about it when the Akali Dal and BJP together were in power. But as things have changed, he again went back to the Panthik agenda, which also meant that this whole regeneration of the party by bringing in the Hindu leaders, that he kind of shied away from it. So in this polls, from what we hear, there have been just very select pockets where Akali Dal has won. Considering that the party's organization has been in a disarray, most of its leadership was got, in the, they were serving their tankha. So I don't think it would be right to assess their performance.
Another question which is coming to my mind is, this trend of AAP making inroads into the urban voters. Earlier it was BJP versus Congress. Akali Dal was confined to, after parting with the BJP with the rural areas. So this trend, how do you see in the coming days is going to unfold?
See, ultimately, at the end of the day, the voters want delivery of services. The voters want their party leaders to be accountable. The voters want three things. I call it the Bipasa. I call it the Bijli, the Pani and the Sadak. So as you are already aware, there have been issues of power in the past summer because the demand went up. There have been issues, because of funds not being available from the center. So for whatever reason, they've not been able to construct new roads. They've not been able to rebuild the urban infrastructure, which is actually in a state of disarray. So even if they win, at the end of the day, they will have to deliver. How they do it, only the time will tell. in the Congress, you know, the Congress had four of the municipal corporations, and the Congress was always very popular in Fagbara. So you think this would be a telling tale on the leadership of Congress? And I mean, that is my first question. And the second question is that why did it not appear that the Congress leadership was working in unison, to win these urban civic polls?
Two interesting things. As we were discussing earlier, the senior Congress leaders who had put in their fielded their wives, they have lost. Ashu's wife has lost. I hear over it.
Yeah. In Ludhiana, Ashu's wife has lost.
Yes.
In fact, Aam Aadmi Party leader, the MLA, Gogi, his wife has also lost the elections. Yes.
So it's a referendum on the MLAs also. So another thing is Ludhiana was represented by Raja Vading as an MP. So he aggressively campaigned there. Still, a few months after winning the MP elections, the trends, though it's a local election, is a reflection on Congress also.
Yeah, because Ludhiana is primarily a urban urban parliamentary segment also. So it is a reflection. So do you think this would lead to any leadership change in Congress, in the state Congress?
Two things are important, more things I would like to mention. Ashu has been, granted bail and the FIR against his cancelled. So there will be churning in the Hindu leadership in Congress now. The vacuum, because he was in jail, so he was in a serious position, a senior position, the PPCC. But Singla was in the contention with these results. There will be certain churning in the leadership, and Hindu leadership on the pattern of AAP, they would try to experiment something. We will come to know by April.
So who do you think? What is your information? Who are the people who are in the reckoning?
See, Hindu leaders is Vijayendra Singla. Ashu is supposed to be very close to the Delhi leadership. Because of this episode, he was keeping lying low. Now the FI has been quashed. So now there is certain leaders, the Jat leaders in Congress are uncomfortable. There will be no churning in the leadership, and the Hindu leadership will try to create space for them, ask for the space, especially after AAP has experimented with Aman Arora. So it will be interesting to see in the coming months.
So you are expecting that Congress will have an urban Hindu face as their party
they
president?
Are thinking, there has been discussion going on, but because they were busy in the elections, first it was Lok Sabha polls, then it was by polls, now it was Panchayat, now it was civic body polls. Because the presidents of some other states have also to change. So that will happen around April. So we expect that something should happen.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for watching this episode of Decode Punjab. Continue to read your favorite newspaper, The Tribune, and follow us on the social media platforms X, Facebook and Instagram.